Hi, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. Today is Sunday, September 20th, 2020. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe and smash that like button if you enjoy the content. Let's get into it. So I'm a big NBA basketball fan, and last week, both the LA Clippers and Toronto Raptors were eliminated in Game 7s just before the conference finals. So Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's biggest stars, won the championship with the Toronto Raptors last year. And then shockingly, he signed with a different team, the LA Clippers, in a surprise move that basically shocked and surprised everyone. So that year ago, Kawhi's decision to leave Toronto for LA was met with a lot of criticism. People were bitter, some were excited, some people were mad, you name it. At the end of the day, Kawhi did what was best for Kawhi at the time. I wanted to look back and analyze his decision and the lessons we can learn that could apply to business and our lives. Of course, this is with the hindsight of 2020 and a lot of caveats. I think lesson number one is when something is going well for you, don't change it. You want to do more of what works and do less of what doesn't. Winning a championship, in the NBA is not easy, no matter what anyone says. So, the Raptors were a really good team, a top-tier team for many years before Kawhi came in the 2019 season. They just kept losing to LeBron in basically near the Eastern Conference Finals. And they got swept the year before, I think 4-0. And Kawhi was that missing piece, that killer guy that the Raptors needed, like a MJ Kobe type character. And it looks like maybe he cared more about playing in LA rather than winning championships. But for one thing, I think he and his squad overlooked the chemistry and the missing piece that he was to the Raptors. And the second lesson I think we can learn is never underestimate the power of a good supporting staff, even if you are that quote unquote hero. Kawhi, as I said, he was that missing piece that the Raptors needed to get over the hump. But before that, the Raptors were a top-notch team. Coaching, they had Nick Nurse. He was the coach of the year. They were a top-tier playoff team, like I said. They just kept losing to LeBron near the conference finals for so many years. They have, their own all-star talent like Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and one of the best benches in the entire league. Their GM, Masai Ujiri, is one of the best GMs in the league. He built the staff and the bench basically from the ground up with very savvy trades over time. I think the third lesson that we can learn is that, money doesn't buy everything, and we can't just throw things together without considering, chemistry. And some things are basically unknown until you try it. Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, he basically bet the farm and then some to get Kawhi and PG on the Clippers. He unloaded two of their best young players and a crazy amount of future draft picks basically to 2024. And all the U.S. sports analysts said the Clippers would be unstoppable, and they were the number one pick by far to win the championship, either LA or, the Clippers or the Lakers. And during the series with Denver that they had, where they ultimately lost, they blew a 3-1 lead, and Denver's players and coaching staff continued to exploit the matchup with Jokic. And there was nothing really that the Clippers did or reacted to it. They had inferior coaching by Doc Rivers, and they had lack of chemistry and defensive and offensive presence. It led to one of the biggest playoff collapses in the NBA. So, just in closing, I think those are three very important lessons that we can learn in our life and applies to business. So we can't know, 100% what was in Kawhi's mindset when he accepted the LA contract. Maybe he outweighed playing in LA more than anything else. Maybe he fell for the trap we all did and the media analysts did, that LA was going to smoke everyone. Maybe he underestimated what he had in Toronto and way overestimated what was lying for him in LA. Maybe he was just overconfident and a human like the rest of us. And we don't know. Maybe he really hated Toronto, living in Toronto, or he hated some of his teammates. We don't know the chemistry behind it. But I think Toronto is an amazing city, one of the best cities in the world. The pay angle would have been about the same everywhere because he had all the momentum. Every team would have been able to offer him a short-term max contract, what he was looking for. So it's interesting to look back. Of course, this is with 2020 vision and some caveats to see, what we could have learned from it. And I think we see this situation in all our lives. Obviously not in this scale, but there are times when we're riding high. Maybe we come to a crossroad in our lives, and it's important to analyze what we have now and maybe what lies before us. I have the utmost respect for Kawhi. He's an amazing player, 2-time NBA champion, 2 times final MVP, all defensive player of the year, 2015, 2016. So I'm just making this video because he's an amazing player. I respect him, and it's interesting to look back and learn the lessons. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe.